The order, we start with questions. Secretary for the Secretary of State for Works and Pensions, Will Stone.
Question number 1, please, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there should be no benefit decisions without explanation. Claim decisions should always be set out with the reasons. If a decision is unclear or the reasons are unclear, a further detailed verbal or written explanation can be requested and will be provided.
Will Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister for his response. Could he please outline to me how this government will support young disabled people in having a positive engagement with the benefit system and alongside work? Thank you.
Minister.
Well, I'm grateful to my honourable friend, and he's absolutely right to press for improvements. But we do want to change the way job centres are thought about, the way the benefit system is thought about. Our youth work coaches talk a lot to disabled young people, and they're very keen to be able to help more. Our reforms are making that possible, giving better help and support and opening up new opportunities for disabled young people up and down the country.
Jim Shannon.
Mr. Speaker, Minister, my staff member does benefit applications and appeals in tribunals at least 5 days a week. Along with myself, she's the person who overturns 75% of all those applications in favour of the applicant. It tells me, Mr. Speaker, there's something wrong with the system. I have to say and put it on record, I am really worried sick for my constituents who suffer from mental issues because of our conflict of 30 years, but also physical issues as well. And Minister, there must be a system that protects those people, protects my constituents, protects the people that I represent in this House and the people that we all represent.
Minister.
Well, I think the honourable gentleman, again, is right to call for improvements. We do want to see improvements in assessments. I think he's probably well aware that we will shortly be publishing a green paper with proposals for reform to the health and disability benefit system, and we will have something to say about that in the course of that document.
Under Martin.
Question number 2.
Secretary of State.
With your permission, Mr. Speaker, before I answer, I want to say there has understandably been lots of speculation about the government's reforms to social security, and I want to assure the House, and most importantly the public, that we'll be coming forward with our proposals imminently to ensure there is trust and fairness in the social security system, and to ensure that it is there for people who need it now and for years to come. With permission, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to answer questions 2, 5, 11 and 21 together. Almost 1 million young people are not in education, employment or training. That is terrible for their living standards, future job prospects and for their health. That is why our new Youth Guarantee will ensure every young person is earning or learning. Our trailblazers, backed by £45 million of additional funding, will lead the way and will start in 8 areas next month.
Under Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. All of those 1 million people are a real person, and I was contacted by a young man in my constituency who studied an early years education T-level and wanted to enter a desperately understaffed profession but has been struggling ever since to access that starter job. Being out of work, being young, can have a scarring effect that impacts people's jobs and prospects for a lifetime. So can the Secretary of State, working to identify people at risk of being NEET, ensure my constituents that working with him to support finding meaningful work?
State.
I thank my honourable friend for her question. Her constituent deserves to fulfil his potential and live his hopes and dreams like everybody else. And we will be working hard with the Department for Education to identify those young people who are at risk of being NEET, to make sure we put in place the skills and training they need to get the jobs of the future and fulfil their potential as they deserve.
Emma Food.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I suspect there might be quite a spike in the number of Geordies not in work today, given the cup final at the weekend. But recently I visited Azure, a charity in my constituency, providing learning and work opportunities, especially for young people with learning disabilities. And I heard from them about the incredible work that they do in providing young people with hands-on experience in a hospitality-based, work-based learning environment. Can the Secretary of State detail more about what government can do to support charities like Azure to provide these vital opportunities?
I really want to congratulate Azure for the brilliant work that they do, and I believe that charities and voluntary organisations have an essential role in getting people on the pathway to work and success. I know from my own constituency, with the supported internship programmes that have been run, including through my local hospital, that young people with learning difficulties, with the right support, can get those jobs, get that work, and that's what this government wants to deliver.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'm increasingly concerned by the rising number of young people in Milton Keynes who are out of work due to mental health issues. And I think this is a key factor behind the nearly 12% increase in young people claiming unemployment benefits in Milton Keynes since 2024. Can the Secretary of State outline what steps the government is taking to ensure